Hello and welcome to another edition of Droppin Bombs with me, Corey Baumeister, as always with the lovely people here at TCGplayer.com. So today I'm bringing you a black-white list that was created by Todd Stevens here. Played it against us in the Super League. I thought it was really interesting. It really did some powerful things, so I decided to give it a run. So it's a pretty standard black-white knight list with History of Benalia's 8 knights. We have some Lyras as the big hitters, but other than that, it's pretty standard. Except we added the Angel package as well, so we kind of call this. I've been calling this Black White Holy Knights. Resplendent Angel and Lyra Dawnbringer make it so there is a number of must answer threats. Must answer threats are always good because that means they are so high impact that they demand an answer right away. So not only do you have the very smooth, nice draws that a black-white knight list already has, but now you have that ability to sort of go long range and kind of have a little extra reach. Other than that, that's pretty much the main deck here. Pretty standard list. Sideboard, we have a bunch of duresses, bloodfasts, really stuff to make the control matchup better because this deck doesn't have a very good control matchup because there's just so much spot removal. So we have a lot of that in the sideboard along with some Plague Mirrors for X1s, Rune Raiders for controls, Shield Mirrors, another cool M19 card that's very good against mono red. Other than that, I'm very excited to get to the game, so let's play a little with Black White Holy Knights. Stay tuned. All right, and let's get to the game with some Holy Knights. All right, so we did not win the die roll. Still a keeper, nothing great, but we have the freebooter to protect both of the angels. Usually will be enough. Kind of like what this hand kind of screams is like freebooter on 2, angel on 3, Lyra on 5, and hope to activate on 6 being like the ideal play here. See if it happens is another story. All right, so likely mono red here. Oh, no. Blue-red, so definitely could be Grixis, really any combination of something. And we are noticing probably the biggest problem with black-white is it really doesn't have any flood protection. You know, I mean, if you draw too many lands, you just draw too many lands. You don't have any, like, Champion of Wits effects or anything like that to really, you know, smooth out your draws. So we get a free peek here. Can't take anything. All right, so it definitely is Grixis. And our opponent has a very good hand. So the only thing they're kind of missing is a black SARS, I was going to say. And right on time. Okay, now we're not going to play Angel because we just walk right into a Syncopate right now. So we're just going to play Land Go. Maybe be able to sneak one into play when our opponent taps out this turn for a Nicol Bolas. Yep, that is quite bad. We'll discard a Plains because we got plenty of them. Alright, our opponent has 3 cards we know of and 1 we do not. This isn't bad. Gives us an answer to that Bolas at least, if something of ours dies. Worst case scenario, activate only as a sorcery. Okay. Yeah, now we have to deal with the Scarabian God more than likely, which isn't that bad right now. We're for sure going to take this. Alright, likely Scarab God coming down here. And that's not the worst, because if our opponent doesn't have a removal spell for either of our angels, our board is better. But if our opponent can deal with one or both of them, we are in trouble. Ooh, we gained 5 life. Okay, I kind of thought it was 4. I thought this play was going to be insane. Still a good play, but... And then 6 mana is to activate it for that super ability here. Alright, so we know 1 Syncopate and the rest is a mystery. Alright. No attacks. Does not have the answer for Lyra, it looks like. Now our opponent could Bolas us next turn. Ooh, yeah, I just made a mistake there. I could have Shafet Dunes to kill this. That would have been pretty good. But this still isn't going to be bad. We're going to get in with both, and you can use that ability at any point here. Alright, we'll go attack, attack. See what kind of answer our opponent has for this. Goes with the block. Now we're faced with a dilemma. If we pump and it dies, we kind of time walk ourselves. Or we let it die, so Nicol Bolas is off the board. It's a tough one. I suppose we're afraid of Vraska's Contempt right now. I think we just pass priority here. Okay, first strike damage was dealt. Maybe we don't pass priority. Maybe we do just... Yeah, I am going to pump. A little bit of a risky play, but... Okay, I see. Just wanted to trade with the Magma Spray. That's A-okay with us. That does mean the Scarab God can bring it back, though, right now. Which is definitely scary. Yeah, not playing the Shafet Dunes was quite bad. Now we are in trouble if our opponent has that land. Not the case, but we're still definitely in trouble. Alright, our opponent only has one card, but has enough mana to protect it with Syncopate. We know the one card. So we have no choice but to just play History of Benalia here. And hope our opponent does not have the land to flip that. Or maybe this card can't be flipped when it's brought back from the graveyard. I'm actually not positive. New interactions like this, it is, you know, a little tricky to make sure you know all the intricate ins and outs of it. I would imagine, since it's a token, it doesn't get that ability, but like I said, I'm not positive on that. Glory Bringer. Ooh. That's pretty bad. Likely an exert here, and then we can deal with... Nope. Doesn't even care. Okay. Down to 7. Johnny's the draw. So we can sack Shafet Dunes, attack, and then kill the Bolas while playing around the Syncopate for 1. And then next turn we can block the Scarab God to just stay alive, which is not great. I don't know if we have another option here. We can go at Johnny and put some counters on it. But then we just lose the game. So yeah, we really don't have another option here. As unfortunate as it is. Alright, doing this to once again trigger Revolt. Attack for 3. Alright, now we will cast Fatal Push on this. And then we will need a top deck that can make it through a Syncopate. not an easy task here. I would think we're a very low percentage to win this game. Virtuoso probably makes it even worse. I would imagine an Exert is in our future here. No Exert. Okay, so we're left with the option that we can block. Now we have to play something that can't get mana leaked, so we can get something that costs 3 to deal with the board, which I don't think we have an out to. Going to be moving on to game 2 here real shortly. Alrighty. Another History of Benalia. That will not do it. Alright, game 2. This Grixis deck has been a deck that has been becoming much more popular now, and it's becoming much more proactive. Right away, I did not think the deck was very good, but the more proactive that it gets, the better I think it is. Here, I think we want Angel, Ixalan's Binding. We're going to want some number of Duresses more than likely here. Our Fatal Pushes are very bad. Cast Down is pretty bad. Most of the deck's Legendary. Does deal with Glorybringer, though, which is a big problem for this deck. And then we have our enchantments to deal with them as well. Walking Ballista is very bad. So now it's what amount of cards like Rune Raider, Bloodfast, and Duress we want here. Rune Raider, I think, is a card where you only want it if you absolutely don't care about your life total. But since the Grixis Energy deck, well, it's not the fastest deck out there, it still presents enough of a clock that this card is not great. So I think we're going to for sure bring in 1 Bloodfast here. And then 2 Duresses is my immediate reaction here. Since we're on the play, we definitely want less Duress effects. I'm a much bigger fan of Duress effects on the draw. So I think we're going to run it like this. Maybe even another Bloodfast on the play. Yeah, we're going to go this ratio and probably mix it up in the other direction on the draw. Possibly a 3rd Duress after we win game 2 here. Now, we're really hoping for a draw that, you know, we drew a little bit too much lands, but this deck really is a curve-out deck. So it's super, super powerful when you can go 2-drop into History, into a Johnny. But if you can't do that, the deck doesn't top deck very well. You end up top decking into spot removal, and sometimes that's fine. Like, you know, top decking a Cast Out or something can be amazing. But most of the time when you're top decking, you know, Freebooters or Knight of Malice or something like that, it's less than ideal. So we are going to go first. And we have exactly that draw I was mentioning here as long as we top deck a land. This hand is just about perfect. Okay, so we're going to lead on a Plains here. Pass the turn. Alright, Mountain from our opponent leads me to believe there might be a Magma Spray in our future, which is not cool. Not cool at all, actually, but that's okay. Hey, hooray! No spray. Likely this Knight of Grace is not going to be attacking for 3 next turn. And we really hope our opponent doesn't have the Syncopate here. Syncopate is a card that most players bring out on the draw, so I would estimate that there's going to be less of them than the full package in for this game, but we're going to find out. Alright, 1 time. Need this one to resolve. No! That's a bummer. Negate is a good sideboard option against us. Our hand is much worse without the History. But we are just going to slam on a Johnny here and hope for the best. And we're going to tick up on this. Only one target, unfortunately. Alright, now it looks like to be one of the Nicol Bolas turns, which we are prepared for with plenty of options. Vraska's Contempt is the card we don't want to see on 4. Yep, unfortunate. And we really want to follow-up play here. We're going to have to cycle. Really want to be playing something this turn of value. No such luck. This is going to be bad news for us. Yeah, the flood problem is very real with this deck. If our opponent can answer us on a one-for-one basis on a couple things, usually Grixis has better top decks. Just so many high-powered cards coming out of that deck. Right here, we're super afraid of a Glorybringer. Glorybringer would be the worst. Scarab God's bad. Bolas is bad. Yeah, not in a great spot. A Bolas it is. We'll discard this Plains. We can deal with that and every single one of them here, which we kind of just have to do right now. We could go with Johnny, get a counter on this, and attack for 5. I don't mind it. But I don't love it. I think we just binding this right now. First we attack, because it does have that +1 for the Bolas being in play. So we'll attack for 4. All right. Start with the binding here. This does leave us vulnerable to a Glorybringer. But Glorybringer is just really bad for this deck. It's always been a big problem. We are not that afraid of a Siphoner, on the other hand. Alright, an Angel here is pretty good. I think we want to get the Johnny going. Well, let's count. He can Syncopate us. So actually, playing around Syncopate here is huge because it can. The Angel is uncounterable in a sense. So we are going to just attack and play an Angel. Ooh, or we could Deadlands this. Ooh, that would be interesting. I don't mind that at all. Yeah, we're going to do that. We don't want our opponent drawing any more unnecessary cards. Getting them closer to Glorybringer is exactly what we don't want. So. Confiscation Coup, that's a good one. Alright. Not the biggest deal. Definitely not ideal, but we'll just get this Angel into play. Alright. Definitely not out of this game yet. Still trying to fade a Glorybringer. Hopefully our opponent just has 3 Nicol Boluses in hand, and they are bound to not cast them. Our opponent is deep in the tank. Alright. I'm guessing deciding to attack here. Yep, we will take that 3. Alright, says go. Okay. Knight of Grace of our own. Suppose we'll just attack. Our opponent down to 3. Okay, now we're going to play the Knight. And then present lethal in 2 different ways with a Johnny pumping the Knight of Grace. Magma Spray, okay. Makes me scared again of the ever-powerful Glorybringer. Oh no! It's finally here. Uh-oh. Okay. Really wish we had one more land in play here. All right. It's quite good against us right now. Well, no choice but to play in a Johnny and get back that Angel. It's our only threat. Hope to fade and negate, which we did. Oh, oops. Oh, with converted mana cost of 2 or less. Okay, well, that wasn't a great play then. Not much we could really do besides cast out the Glorybringer, but we do have a turn to avoid that. So actually, this would still have been the play, but not looking good. Because that... Oh, just go on face. Ruh-roh. Cast down. That's a good draw. Does lead me to deal with both cards here. Unfortunately, I can't cast down the Knight, so I can't get into my graveyard. I'm going to have to say go here. And then I'm going to use these removal spells during upkeep here, because I kind of have to. Alright, cast down on Glorybringer first, because if this does not work, I have to use the cast down on the cast out on the Glorybringer. To cast out now or wait? Realistically, I think we can wait on this one, because we're not actually dead. And if our opponent plays another Glorybringer, we'll be very happy to have waited. Still attacking me. Think I'm okay with that. If our opponent goes Scarab God without a land, then this cast out play would be bad. But if our opponent goes Scarab God with a land, then I'm just dead no matter what. So I think I'm going to preserve my life total and hope my opponent doesn't have it right now. Definitely not ideal. Okay, didn't have it, thankfully. Let's hope this tick up ultimate plan works, because that's all we got. Contempt dealing with that problem. Yeah, this is not going to be ending well for us, I feel. Alright. A duress. Nothing we want to protect right now, so we're going to save that until we draw a threat. Opponent cycles and finds a siphoner. We do have the answer for that, luckily. Ugh. Deal with that. And pass the turn back. Really want to top deck a Lyra, something that can one-hit our opponent. And protect it with this duress. No such luck. Gonna pass. Just a good old draw-go session here. Really needing some help here. Ooh, Bloodfast. Our opponent's not going to be able to activate that too many times. 2 to be exact. Now that does broaden our range of stuff that we can top deck that will kill our opponent. Would be nice if we drew one of ours. Although we don't have much life to play with either. Alright. Really need something this turn. Let's go! Alright, now we'll start the duress history shenanigans. Alright, Vraska's Contempt, a Bolus, Magma Spray, and a Fatal Push. So our opponent, no matter what, has answers to our hand. We'll take the Contempt, and we'll... But this history does deal with... History and Duress does deal with 3 of our opponent's cards, which is pretty big. So this is likely going to meet a Fatal Push or a Magma Spray, not sure which one. Alright, now our opponent's going to flip Bloodfast, and still needs to top deck out of this. And Glorybringer is not a top deck for him, but a Scarab God in the game is over. The game will end immediately with a Scarab God. Like, not even play out the motions. I will right-click and concede immediately if Scarab God comes down. Okay, drew the land. Alright. Ah, that was a big turn. We did not get there. That's going to get Magma Sprayed. Really needed something that turn. Now we got to hope our opponent does not draw better than us. Otherwise, we will not be winning. Don't even know what this card does. Okay. Whenever a dragon enters the battlefield. Okay. Yep, whenever a dragon enters the battlefield, I will probably die anyways. Come on. The flood is real. Like I said, though, black-white, this is the biggest problem with the deck. It does not have very good flood protection. Alright, a lethal threat. Let's hope for the best. Uh-oh. Well, yeah, that's very good. We're going to cast down it. And our opponent is going to get to gain some life. So that will prevent 1 attack. So our opponent did buy himself 2 turns with that card. Ooh, yeah, that's nice. Okay, that stops some outs. Glorybringer will still end the game immediately, but this Lyra definitely helps us present lethal next turn. It's about time we drew a card. Oh, wait. Better count for Syncopate here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can't play around it regardless, so we'll keep the land in our hand. Alright, fingers crossed to get to a game 3. Let's go! Hooray! Awesome. Didn't think we were going to get there. This is not an easy matchup. Okay. So I'm going to bring this back in, seeing that our opponent has Siphoners. Freebooters just feel so bad to me. I'm just going to take them out. That just can't be right to take them out, though. It's got to be what they're for. Maybe the card is just bad. The card could just be very, very bad. Ixalan's Binding felt great. I wish I had more of them. I wish the ratio was split a little bit more. This is, once again, Todd Stevens' list that he played in the Team Super League against Team Genesis, who ended up winning the whole thing. But I thought his deck was very cool, so I wanted to give it a shot here. You know, I think I am going to take Freebooters out to go in favor of Duresses. All right, we're going to do something like that on the draw. All right, game 3, let's go. All right, we're on the draw. Now, that was a 21-turn game. This matchup does get very grindy. It's either I can win very quickly and get underneath them with a good duress, creature, history, a Johnny draw, something like that, or Grixis usually wins the long game because Scarab God is a problem, even though a lot of stuff gets exiled. A lot of stuff does just frivolously die. And this hand is fine. I love hands that don't have many lands because you need to, you know, like we've seen Flood before, you need to have stuff to do. And we got plenty to do. We just need a little land. Even one land buys us quite a few turns. Oops. Sorry about that. All right, so what do we think? Our best card is Knight of Grace, so I think we should lead on that. If our opponent has Fatal Push, it cannot be dealt with. Magma Spray does, on the other hand, deal with it. Okay. Falls. Alright, opponents look likely playing a Whirler. We really want to draw that land for the history. Hooray! Get history going while our opponent doesn't have negate mana. Alright. And we are going to be taking 3 next turn, it looks like, but still, history presents a lot of damage out of nowhere. Ooh, is this a bolus? Ugh. I think we're going to get rid of this Resplendent Angel. Although maybe it's Knight of Malice. Huh. I think we'll get rid of the Angel. Well, we're not going to be able to actually have the Knight work by the time this flips unless we play it next turn, but then we can't deal with Bolus, which is probably okay. Yeah, we're going to get rid of the Angel. Definitely don't like it. Yeah, it wouldn't be bad to top deck a land next turn. Then we get put to a decision what we want to do. Now I think we just Knight of Malice. It's a blocker for the Virtuoso, and then it can attack for a lot. But then we're just straight cold to a Glorybringer, but we don't have the luxury to hold up cast down mana. It either floods or it doesn't give you enough. Magic's a brutal game. Alright, can attack. Bolus is far from flipping for right now, so that's not too big of a deal. Now we really need to fade a big turn, you know? Glorybringer would be GG. GB would be GG. We do have 13 power coming at our opponent next turn. Just nothing to scoff at. Cycle, that's huge. We needed our opponent to be doing this kind of turn. Just a nice, a turn off, you would say. Ooh, that's not a turn off. I think we are going to go with the old no blocks here. It's a strange attack to me. Alright, we're going to get in there for 8. Our opponent takes the 8. Now we're left with a decision. Do we want Knight of Grace or do we want to hold up Cast Down? Do we have the luxury to play around a Glorybringer right now? I'm thinking not. Yep, we're just going to play Knight of Grace. No. No. Ugh. Ugh, ugh, ugh. That's 9. Putting us to 4. That's meaning we have to top deck a land to be able to cast out Bolas. Yeah, we're in a bad spot. Should have cycled, I guess. Yep. Yep. This deck is brutal sometimes. Okay, stick around for round 2. We'll see if we can redeem ourselves a little bit. Alright, so we are lucky enough to win the die roll here. I would like to go first. I think this hand's fine. Nothing great, but... Okay, pass the turn. Mono red, possibly. Always a tough matchup. No matter what deck you play, the mono red or black red variants, it's just a powerful deck. Like it's gonna have game against everything. And right now our hand is quite weak. The cards that take advantage of mono red are really History of Benalia and Lyra. Those are, I think, are the most important things. Okay. Mountain Lightning Strike. Seems pretty good. Ugh. We can kill stuff for days, but that won't deal with a Chandra. Pia Nalar. That's pretty good as well. Well, we can Walking Ballista for 2 and get that token out of there at least. Or we could kill the Pia. Kind of like just killing the token here. See what our opponent does. Alright, red, black. Chandra, okay. It's pretty good. Adds 2 mana. Lightning Strike, okay. Well, with our opponent killing this, it does become a lot better to take down Pia here. Alright, we'll take our 1 damage. Hope to draw a land and our opponent doesn't have an answer for it. At least this will let us figure it out. Phoenix, Phoenix, cut. So our opponent did have an answer to it and has a great hand. So we're not sitting great. But the way it stands, our opponent technically does not have an answer to the Lyra right now. Scrounger. Gonna have us take 2 in favor of playing the Phoenix. Now we could go for the double removal spell now, but if we draw that 5th land, we really want to be playing Lyra. Johnny. Johnny's not very good right now, but it does get us back a Knight of Malice at least. And we can ship the turn. We have to lower Chandra's loyalty next turn, otherwise we are dead. So, that being said, we're going to have to let a Johnny fall. This is not looking great. Both of them at that. Well, we'll take the free kill. I guess we're walking into a Chain Whirler, but I think that's fine. Chain Whirler takes that down. Our opponent could cut as well. If our opponent cuts as well, I don't know how we can really get out of this. Gets Hezret to exile. Oof. Yeah, I think we're just done. Unless we draw cast out. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. Alright, red-black. Let's see if we can do a better job here. We'll try these shield mares. They seem decent. Ixalan's Binding seems okay. I don't like Angel of Sanction against them with Glorybringer and Chandra. On the play, I like cutting a few Fatal Push. Freebooter is okay. Really don't like Walking Ballista too much. We're going to take one Freebooter. I will try it like that. All right. Yes, we would like to play first. All right. We got a good one. This hand is perfectly fine. Okay, we'll play the Courtyard to start. Got a good Knight into Resplendent Angel. That's a lot of power. That's a lot of power. It's about what we've hoped for. We still haven't gotten a turn 3 History of Benalia, which is definitely what the deck wants to be doing. Alright, Knight of Malice. Heart of Curon. Ooh, just kidding. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want to be doing right now. This is the dream start. Crunch. Now we're sitting great. This should be a game we take down. Hopefully. Can't speak too soon. Something like a Pio would be pretty good. And this is 6 to activate. Such a powerful card. Takes our hands. I'm guessing that Angel is going to be gone. That shows some discipline to be taking the hand here in the face of a board that's actively beating them down. So we'll see. We do want to more than likely freeboot our opponent because something like Chandra could be quite annoying for us. Not game ending, but it would still be slightly annoying. Okay, takes the Angel like we suspected. We get a Knight, we'll play a land, and we'll play a freebooter here. Our opponent knows our hand here, so we're kind of playing face up. Wow. Our opponent has some stuff. We're going to take one of these. Alright. 4 cards in hand. It's those 4. All right, we'll get our beat on. Yeah, our opponent's hand does not line up very well with us, though. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a pretty handily victory for us. Especially next turn, our opponent is just taking so much damage with that history coming off. We're going to show our opponent a little history lesson. All right, I think our opponent's just dead. Yeah, that's 8, 13. Yeah, that's just lethal. Opponent didn't think of that. And will concede. Okay. Game 3. Game 3, I like to tend towards bringing Fatal Push back in. And I really just don't like Freebooter as a card. It's just not very good. I just don't know if that card belongs in the deck at all, to be honest. I really have been disappointed with that card every time I've drawn it. But we will keep in 1, I guess, just because we have to. Future decks, I mean, obviously it's not for this matchup, and if I played against a control deck, I would be ecstatic to be playing it, or to be drawing it, but that's just hasn't been the case so far. All right, we will keep. We're going to almost for sure be cycling on turn 1. Really just want to be curving out with this hand. Ooh, that's not bad. Still going to cycle, I think. It is a bit of a more decision, but we still are looking for that turn 3 play. We don't have a great one yet, so we really do want to find that. Especially in the face of this. Yeah, we're going to cycle in response. Because I really don't want our opponent to take that. Now they're going to take on a Johnny. Which is okay. I don't mind when my opponent is keeping in duresses on the play. I really like duresses on the draw because you're trying to hedge and you're trying to kind of break serve, as one would say. But on the play, I like the red deck just being as aggressive as possible when I'm on their side. But that's just me personally. Maybe I'm a little off on that. Goblin Chain Whirler. Okay. I think we'll drop this Shield Mare here. The shields will be up. Can't attack yet. Can't actually block either. So that Chain Whirler is going to be getting in some free damage. Next turn we get to go double Knight, though. That'll be pretty big. And a Braid. Okay. That's A-okay with us. That kind of leads me to believe that we might have a Hezred here in our future, which is scary, but not much we can do. Knight of Grace. We are graced with a bunch of grace. Yeah, Hezred right here is quite devastating. A Phoenix is way less devastating. So now our opponent has a decision if they want to attack. Decides not to. Leaves us to believe our opponent does not have a removal spell. Alright, and here Lyra comes to save the day. Or wreck the day for our opponent, hopefully. Now that Rekindling Phoenix is a brick wall for us, but us gaining life gives us a cushion here where we might have some time against it. Looks like we might have seen an unlicensed. Yep, that's kind of a bummer. And a cut takes down that. Alright, not much we can do, but take some damage. So Johnny is not looking great right now, but that is pretty big. So this actually is going to work out pretty well. We are going to play a Johnny. Let's see what we can bring back. Just Knight of Graces, or we can put a counter on this Knight of Grace. I think it's better to just put a counter on. Yeah. All right, this play could go well. What we're hoping to do here is block Knight of Grace to the Chain Whirler. They will die, and then before regular damage even resolves, we can Fatal Push. Oh, that's lame. Yep, that was a great draw. Well, we still got this Fatal Push to deal with the front side of the Phoenix. Yeah, that play would have been so great. So the play we were going to do is Knight of Grace to Chain Whirler. They would block with first strike damage. Then we Fatal Push the Phoenix. And then Johnny takes 0. But now in this case, Johnny's going down to 2. We're going to just have to bring something back. And then Deadlands this land here. Yep, no real other option here. We could have set up a very good turn, but not the way the cards came. Okay, we'll sacrifice a Johnny here to get back a Knight. Alright, now we technically do have the board stable with this cast down, but our opponent just keeps drawing things. Ugh. Sometimes you're not meant to do... Wow, no exert. I think that's pretty ambitious. Okay. So we do have everything dealt with on board. If we play that Ballista for 2, we'd have to sacrifice our creatures. It's probably worth it, I guess. Maybe not. I think we will play it, but we are not going to block, so we are going to attack. And we really need our opponent to brick one time here, because that cut is getting us very close to dead here. Alright, beginning of combat, we gotta take down this Glorybringer. Okay. Are we willing to go to 5? I think we have to, but it's not great. Really would hope for a Lyra here, but we are land short thanks to having to use that Deadlands. And wow, that Heart of Kirin is a great draw as well. Well, we really kind of have no choice but to Deadland shrink this Chain Whirler so that it cannot crew. And get in there for 3. Right. Now we have the option to kill that Chain Whirler in response to something that could crew the heart. Well, they can't crew the heart at least, but we are going to have to take this down. That is still a scary card for us. Okay. Okay, this is good. Well, we could attack and just cast out it and just hope. It's for sure not ideal, but I don't... Like, even the Karizev is going to tick us down one at a time, and we're just not going to win that way. So I think we are going to do that. We got to have to hope our opponent gets a little unlucky here. Because even Karizev hitting for 1 damage makes it so whenever our opponent draws a black source, they win the game. And we just can't have that. We got to stay above that land threshold. Chain Whirler and P are both lethal right now. A land is not. Okay, but now another untapped land is going to be lethal. So we really have to fade like every card in our opponent's deck. Now at least a creature doesn't kill us because we can kill that heart. But yeah, this cut is going to do us in. Chain Whirler makes it so we're dead next turn to the land. So I guess we have to draw something like Shield Mare to stay alive. I don't see us coming out of this. Yep. It hasn't been our league, that's for sure. A Johnny, what does that do? Does nothing. Guess we'll play it, and maybe our opponent... Oh, our opponent doesn't have the artifact right now for the Spire of Industry. We're actually not dead. Okay. Okay, yeah, we're not dead yet. We'll get another Knight of Grays. Do some defense. Okay, now we're dead. Oh, boy. Our opponent drew well, but we also just did not do much. Yeah, maybe Black-White just hasn't been treating us very well. All right. Well, let's hope we can get this last one. All right, stay tuned for our last match. All right, and we're back with our third and final round here. Let's hope we can sneak out a win. All right, we're on the draw, but our hand is pretty good. Our opponent mulligans on the play here. I think this hand is great. We're missing land, but this deck, one thing it's not great at is it doesn't really have flood protection. So if we can keep a land light hand and draw into land, that's probably the most ideal situation. Looks like we're playing against the mirror here. That card's real good against our hand right now. We can't really kill it. Now we could do a Knight of Grace as well. But actually I think we're going to do Knight of Malice. It pumps both of them, but it uses our mana more efficiently. Since we only have one black source, that's why I'm choosing to do Knight of Malice. So Knight of Grace is just better in... it's just a better knight in the mirror. So we always would trade to get a Knight of Grace out of there. And that's what we'll do. Okay, Resplendent Angel. This might be an exact mirror here. Now we're going to get History down because we're going to wait for History to come off, and that'll be the turn we get to Fatal Push Resplendent Angel here. And it's still quite a ways off from being effective right now, so we're completely okay waiting a couple turns. A Plains attack for 3 is fine with us. No follow-up would be huge. Cast out, taking care of History. That's a very heads-up play doing it on his... I guess if he doesn't do it on his turn, we just get a free token, so... Probably a pretty obvious play. Now, it does cost 6 for that ability, so we don't have to worry about it quite yet. We could just play our own Angel to kind of stop there, so that's probably best. Get our free 2 points of damage in. Pass it back, and yeah, we'd more than likely be happy with a trade here. Ouch. Now we're in some trouble here. Our opponent has that land. Not much we can really do. We can play a Johnny and bring back a Knight of Malice, I guess. It's not very good. I think it's kind of all we got, though. We could go a Johnny tick up on the Knight, and then when our opponent tags a Johnny and down to 2, then we can negative a Johnny so that one of our permanents goes away, and then it triggers Revolt for Fatal Push. It's not great, but... And we just have to really bank that our opponent doesn't have that land right now. We're just really in trouble if they do. I guess we could just go double Knight and try to get through that way. That does not feel very good. Yeah, we kind of need a Johnny because we're on a 2-turn clock here. if we play a Johnny. Yeah, we really just have to hope it's not there. I mean, I don't see another option besides hoping and praying right now. We're just pretty cold to that 6th land. Get on in there for 3. Fade the land. Uh-oh. We did. We did. Yep. Kills a Johnny or just goes at us. Yep, kills a Johnny. God, now we just got to attack and hope our opponent blocks. That's sad, but... No blocks in order. Very much reads us for having Fatal Push. Alright, now we gotta just go Knight of Grace and pass it back. Attacks, we're gonna go no blocks. See what our opponent does. Yep. We'll have to Fatal Push both of the angels and hope to draw an answer for this angel. It's not great, that's for sure. Alright. Creates another angel. And we're going to kill that one too with all these extra Fatal Pushes. But at this point, we just need to draw an answer. Well, that is kind of a pseudo answer. Just because it blocks. Alright, puts our opponent down to 17 and we're on the board. Now, realistically, we can come back if our opponent maybe doesn't have too many good answers in hand. Okay, yep, we're going to snap block. Opponent is going to go for the activation. That angel is not going to work out well because we do have this Fatal Push. Alright. Now, we're handless, but at least we get to get some damage in here. And we do have both the dunes for activations. But something like a Lyra here and we're just cold. A Paladin, huh? That's not a big deal. We can just Deadlands that. And it's just not a scary card in general. Our opponent can Deadlands our Knight of Malice, which shrinks our clock significantly. Looks to be the case. Wouldn't see why our opponent would take a pain with that Shafet Dunes. That's going to be an untap, I would imagine, here. Weird. Okay. Killed the Knight of Grace. That's interesting. Oh, took the damage for that. Okay, that makes sense. Ooh. Ooh. Hello. Now, we're faced with a dilemma. To Deadlands now to get that card off the board. Or to get in there. So you can make that into a 3/3. Which is bad, so I think we just get rid of it. get that out of there. Gains a life. And we get in there for 6. Now we have a Johnny next turn, which is definitely not nothing. Still need to fade like a Lyra here or another Resplendent Angel. Looks like this is just a Deadlands activation. Nope. Knight of Malice. And an Ajani. Likely bringing back a Knight of Grace. Okay. Not too much we can do about that. Our opponent is handless, but we are facing down. We're facing down lethal attackers. Both of them actually are. Can bring back a Knight of Grace, I guess. Seems like the only real play we got here. Can't pump the tokens. That's not the best strategy. Yep, we're just going to bring back a Knight of Grace. And you would ask maybe why Knight of Grace instead of Knight of Malice? It just can't be fatal pushed. That's really the only reason. It's not a huge, huge play in either direction except the minor fact that it can't be fatal pushed. These can't be cast outed, but maybe there is a case for getting another Knight of Malice because now both of the removals can hit one of them. But one of the removals could already hit a Knight, and we'd be in trouble regardless. Ooh, that fatal push top deck was for the game. It's not your day, it's not your day. Alright, game 2. Alright, the mirror. What do we want in the mirror? Plague Mare doesn't seem good. Maybe Rune Raider doesn't seem terrible. It doesn't seem great. I think we'll definitely bring in Forsake. Ixalan's Binding. Angel of Sanction seems pretty good. Walking Ballista does not. Freeboot actually does seem good in this matchup. I will give it that. One of the rare matchups where it's actually good. Maybe Cast Down is not that great. Because it only really kills Resplendent Angel. Yeah, that's the only target it really kills. And we already have Cast Out for that. It's a little too situational against the decks. Fatal Push is just a better card because it doesn't deal with Lyra very well. I'm going to bring in some Blood Fast, though. I think that card could be very good. Especially on the play. And that's a situation where you want to have a lot of removal. Because if you can be drawing into removal, while getting a lot of card advantage against someone, that's usually how you can take over a game. Maybe we will take out freebooters. They're not great. Yeah, we'll try it. We'll leave one in. Our opponent is deep in the tank sideboard in here. Yeah, the ideal draws we're really looking for, like one Bloodfast in there would be great, but really that's kind of a contingency plan. What we really want is a turn 1 or a turn 2 knight into a history. Like, history is very important when it comes to this matchup. Just really in general, the card is so powerful. It's really just one of the most important things you can be doing. All right. Opponent times out on sideboarding. All right, we would like to play first. Yep, okay, this is great. This is great. We'll take all this. Okay, we're going to play the courtyard first. All right, now we'll drop a Bloodfast. A good little card that just makes it so no matter what, we'll have inevitability on our opponent. Doesn't mean we can't just get run over before the card is actually effective, but this card is just one of the most powerful cards, black cards, you know, just really one of the most powerful cards in our standard metagame right now. We're still going to play history here, get our aggressive on. We want our opponent to be reacting to us, and then that would lead us to be able to get proactive with Argo's Bloodfast. If we have to react to our opponent, Argo's Bloodfast becomes much, much worse because it is not a card that, you know, takes too much time out. Okay, so we really want to hit a land. We did not. So now we have a choice. We could forsake, or we could try to get our land drops. And I think getting the land drops is more important. So we're going to start with a Bloodfast activation. Didn't get there. Now we're going to cycle. All right, no such luck. And I don't even think we want to attack right now. So we do not want that trade to happen. Now history's coming off. We're going to have some big knights on our hand. Another history would be quite bad from our opponent's side here. A knight. That's not that big of a deal. Yep, attacking is smart because we do not want to block because our histories are going to be big next turn. All right, we did get a land, which is huge. So now we can just a Johnny and then get in there for 10, which is the play I think I like. Hiya, for 10. Okay, take half our opponent's life, but now our opponent's going to get to do the same. But we can block those knights with our knights. But that Knight of Malice does threaten to take down our Johnny unless we double block it. But we don't care too much about our Johnny. We kind of want it to be a little bit of a distraction right now, and if it lives, cool. If not, whatever. But a double removal spell is very good against us right now. We might just have to hope for the power of, ooh, all to the dome. Okay, but that does mean we get our Bloodfast here, which is pretty sweet. Yes. Okay, well, now at least we get to Lyra and make it bigger. Yeah. Kind of just have to hope that this doesn't get killed. Make it into a super Lyra. We do got that Fatal Push as a little bit of a backup plan, but Well, let's hope our opponent doesn't at least have a cast out here, because then it would just be a slam, win the game. So we'd go to 9, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. With a cast out, we are just dead. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have it. A Lyra of their own, maybe? Oh. I don't think that's a big deal, because we gain 6. Yeah, without this Fatal Push, this would be lethal, but our opponent does not know about it. So, with the way that this works, we are actually going to get quite a lot out of this. Fatal Push this. And now we are going to net gain some life here. And then this game should go to us. Yep. All right, going to game 3. On the draw, I don't like as many Bloodfasts. And I kind of like just going up to max removal here, getting those freebooters out of here. Freebooters are nice at protecting our Lyra, though, so maybe I am undervaluing the card. I do like maybe having like 2. It's really not a good card other than that, but that's still a big enough reason and a high enough upside that we'd still want it. Okay, that sounds great. This hand is great. We want to see a Knight of Malice instead of Grace out of our opponent so we can take it down. Alright, so we're going to start with a Swamp so we have our removal available. Alright, Knight of Malice, Knight of Malice. Nothing. We're okay with that, I suppose. Ooh, yeah, what a top deck. Okay, that's huge. Show our opponent a nice little history lesson. Alright, a Resplendent Angel. Pretty good. Does brick wall our knight for now. Gonna get the History of Benalia. And I believe I talked about this play on game 1. We really want this History of Benalia to go away and trigger Revolt. But if our opponent has another way to deal with the history like they did in game 1, then they strip that play from us. And then we're looking at the same kind of situation that happened in game 1, where Resplendent Angel just kind of took over the game. I think Resplendent Angel is one card that I actually think is going to be very high impact in Standard. But other than that from M19, there just really isn't a lot right now that is going to affect the Standard metagame when we have so many sets in it. I do think that the cards are going to see much more play once we lose all these sets. Once we go down, once we lose Amonkhet and Kaladesh, those really powerful high impact sets that are going to be gone pretty soon. And we have Resplendent Angel here. We could Fatal Push the Knight and just get in there for as much damage as possible. I kind of like it. No, actually, I'm just going to attack with Knight of Grace, because if our opponent does block it, we get the Resplendent Angel as well. Our opponent recognizes that. We're going to play our own Angel. And now we do have a nice play where we can play Lyra next turn and just get that life swing. Fatal Push, okay. That means we get to kill the Resplendent Angel. And now we do get to go Lyra next turn and attack. But if our opponent goes a Lyra here, we are faced with a little bit more of a problematic board state here. Yeah, while Lyra may be our most powerful spell, it is also what we want to see least from our opponent. Ironic. Okay, history is fine. We're getting big. Our history is coming off, and we're going to be doing some damage. All right. Pump the Knights. We'll disguise this Deadlands for now and just play a Lyra. All right, now we can't get in there with our one Knight, but we can get in there for this. Ooh, our opponent didn't have the Fatal Push, thankfully. Now our opponent has 2 game-breaking angels to deal with right now. Next turn, we do have the 6th land, and we could possibly activate Resplendent Angel for the first time, which would be exciting. There's not a lot of removal in the black-white deck that lines up very well with the angels, so that is a very positive note for us right now. Our opponent's stuck on 4 lands, so likely has a Lyra that could just take over this game, but we, you know, luckily have the answers here. It's going to be interesting what they cast out. Sounds like our opponent is kind of doing the same thing we were doing, just, you know, hoping we don't have the 6th land. We do, so we get to get a free angel out of the situation, which is awesome. And that's the game. We kind of saw how we lost game 1 is how we came around and got it done here on game 3. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'm glad we at least got one win out of the taken care of with this black-white deck. I think it's a great deck moving forward. We got the Pro Tour coming up soon. We got a couple weeks in between that, but I think this is, you know, one of the top contenders for everybody's testing gauntlet, including me, myself, and the rest of Genesis. So we're going to keep plugging away at New Standard. I'm going to bring you a couple more weeks of New Standard leading up to the Pro Tour. And then, of course, after the Pro Tour, I will be showcasing off the deck that me, Martin Mueller, and Lucas Blohan decide upon as our Standard player. I am the Standard player in the Pro Tour. And we'll be, so that's a little bit of the next 3 to 4 weeks. Looking forward on the next Dropping Bombs. So thank you so much for sticking around. As always, Corey Baumeister for Droppin Bombs. We'll see you next week. Bye.